Today is September the 14th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome, celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host, and this is the show where we tell the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. You may recognize her. I certainly do. We have today, as actually, I would say more of a co-host, Service Hero host, and here to be my sidekick, as she often is. We, however, are going to honor her also for all she does. And when you see, you're going to say, wow, I wasn't even aware of that. Because you may all recognize this is Renee Reisch. Yes, Renee Reisch, the woman that helps you know that you have a voice, that your voice matters. And she also is everywhere. At least she was pre-lockdown, or not really lockdown, but yes, the pandemic. She was out at events. She's a red carpet host, a red carpet interviewer, and so much more. She's also a best-selling author of a book that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about that book because it's a big part of this story. And so I want to say welcome to you today, Renee.
Thank you so much for having me, Tamara. This is such an honor and a joy and a pleasure to be with you every single time you ask me. It's a no-brainer. I show up. I just adore you.
Well, thank you. Everybody adores you too. And we've got many showing up right now. And I love it. I love it. The gang's all here. We have Helene Wilson, she's actually the first ambassador of our chat. And if anybody doesn't understand what that means, you're going to hear soon. This hour will educate you. Helene, welcome. One of my buddies, actually. And I love it. Hello. And she's welcoming both of us as the ambassador of the chat that she is also for the Service Hero Show. I love it so much. And Mikey Adam Cohen.
Oh, Mikey.
So good. I love it. We have Mikey Adam Cohen, of course, is also from Southern California. And so we oftentimes would all be together at different events and having a lot of fun. And I love it. The beautiful Renee, absolutely. Blue jacket winner. I think it's a red jacket winner.
No, there's a red jacket award that I won and a blue sweater that I just won. Also for a different award.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about the blue sweater. We'll have to find out about that. You and I were both in that 13 for the red jacket, and that was so amazing. Thank you to All Women Rock for that, and Carl Wilson, Ruben on station. I love it. And if you guys don't know what that means, check a couple of shows ago. Look for his face and watch it. You'll know what it means because it's cool. It's cool. And oh, Mikey, I love it. You're sharing the love here within the community. They ended the shelter in place order here. Well, you are lucky we are in California, both of us. It hasn't quite gotten to us yet. Maybe spread some of that like awareness over to the Western states. And everybody's saying hello. Oh, Scott Kiesling. One of the duo, Nancy and Scott Kiesling, they were featured not long ago also on the show for the reunion of the top 5 impactors. I'm so glad you're here with us. We're going to have some fun today, going kind of down memory lane, aren't we?
Yes. It's always fun going there with you, Tamara. We were like the Lucy and Ethel, all over the place, driving around. You would call me and say, get ready, we're going to an event. I'm like, what do I wear? You're like, put on a dress. I'm like, okay. And, it's when you trust someone, you fully trust someone, as I do you keep showing up. There wasn't a question. I just needed to know what I needed to wear and when I needed to be ready.
Yeah, and then I had to have the car packed with blankets because I have a dual control car, which is really the only way that we were able to travel together, right?
Yeah, you were always hot and I was always cold. So
yeah, so we would make sure she had the Sierra Desert on that side, and I had a little bit of the, Icelander thing going on the other side. And then I had jackets and parkas and all sorts of blankets and stuff like that in the car.
True. Very true.
I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Carol. And yes.
Carol, Helene, Mike, everybody's here.
Yes, one of our senior ambassadors, and may I say, one of the producers of this show now, and she's really going to be taking a huge role on as we are making this even that much of a better, tighter show, sharing inspiring stories of those inspiring others. And Carol has been a production guru for years now, kind of in the wild, wild west of streaming media. And she helped put on the 36-hour event last year. And we're going to be talking, that's what we're really talking about today. Carol is going to, again, be very involved in that, as many, many, many of our volunteers, which we had a huge team of people that many may not know how many it takes to put on something like we have done over the last, now we're going on the 3rd year. Can you believe that, my dear? Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. I remember the first year.
The first year, we're going to be talking about that. In fact, we got some going down memory lane. We are going to have fun, guys. I promise you. Forgot that the blankets. Yeah. Because Mikey would be in the car also, and he's like, okay, I'm a little cold, or I want to take a nap. And I'm like, back in the back trunk, I have all the stuff for Renee. And he'd like grab what he wants, and there you go. And so, yes. Let's see. And Carol, good thing is she found her voice. Yes. And in fact, we're going to be talking about that. My fraud just saw the show live it is live on Apple TV and on Amazon Fire Stick and on Roku, many, many places we have this show streaming live. Oh, Carolyn Opendy, I'm so excited to have you here out of the UK. This is the founder and CEO of the NGO Whisperer family. That means the company itself, the magazine, the TV show, and she is a volunteer within the United Nations mission to see that those areas of the world that are underfunded, undersupplied, that have areas of need. She is helping with that effort, and she's doing it through her companies. I want to recognize you and say thank you for being here. And we have Sherry McQueen, one of our senior ambassadors. Okay, let's get this show going. All right.
Get this party started.
Exactly. As they say, whoop, whoop. Right. So it was over now. It would be, wow. We're now probably 3.5, almost 4 years to a point, right? You would know more than I would. When there was one day I was down in LA, I was speaking at an event. I don't remember if I think I had already spoke once, or I'd been on a panel or something. And I'm over near the wall at a round table, and we get a break. And I'm like, I gotta go to the ladies' room and powder my nose fast. And that didn't happen. Why didn't you say what you did? That was when
you had just spoken. It was at David Fagan's event in Los Angeles. I hadn't met you before, but you were speaking about cancer and chemo buddies, and my dad had just recently been diagnosed. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I heard nothing else but your voice. And I knew that we were going to be taking a break right after you spoke. And I did not want to let you out of that room before I came over to you. And I actually made a beeline to the other side of the room. My entire table.
I see this little blonde coming on, and I'm like, and I was like over against the wall. You couldn't get out one way. You could only get out another way. And she's like coming, and boom. And I'm like, oh, what's this about? Okay, so beeline, yeah.
My entire table went to lunch, and I told them, go, I'll meet you there. I need to speak with this lady. And I just made a beeline over to you, and I introduced myself, and I told you about my dad, and you and I walked to lunch together. And I was like, didn't leave your side. I was like a magnet hooked on your side. Because I felt like, oh my gosh, there's a reason I came here today. And, you, I believe, were one of the main reasons, because, I wanted to help my dad. I didn't know what to do. Cancer's been, around, I think most people, I don't know if anybody knows anybody that hasn't been touched by it in one way or another. And, when it's your own family, it literally hits home. And I just wanted to help him. And I thought, well, maybe this woman has some answers that I don't know about yet. And so I wanted to speak with you.
So we end up talking, and the bottom line is what I could do and what I couldn't do. However, the one thing I knew I could do was to support you as a support person, to see if you felt he needed a buddy, and he was totally fine with the buddy situation with your family and your mom and your dad being together as many years as they had been through so many things together. That's an amazing story itself. And so we were able to then create this relationship off of that event, and it just so happened that you were on my way, because I live out further east in the Southern California area. I'm in Riverside County, you're in Orange County, and you're right off the freeway systems for any event that is anywhere in Orange County, anywhere in LA County, going up north, whatever it may be. You were right on my way in, and actually in the neighborhood I knew, because my grandparents had lived there. I'd always gone up into that particular area. I knew it extremely well. I'd lived there also. And so I'm like, okay, I'm coming by your area. And because you were at a place at that time where you were still finding your way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had been released from corporate. I was in a position there for 25 years with one company, and I had been released, and I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know the next chapter of my life. And, I went to this event, I met you, and then you kept calling me for future events. Mm-hmm. And there was an immediate bond, and I really felt that with you. And I just knew that if you were going to ask me to go to an event, it was going to be worth my while. I really didn't know where we were going half the time, but I knew it was going to be something that was going to be worth the investment of time to go. And so I always was there, and it was nice to be a co-pilot for you.
Yeah, and I needed it, especially in LA. Okay, and we won't go there. And this was just brought up, and this is the outside, and so I'm not going to do what we normally do in the inside. However, we do have one of our buddies that needs some love, and for those that are believing, thoughts and prayers, please. Even if you don't know who this person is, she's extremely important to our buddies community, and we're all about being there for each other, and that's what this is really all about. In truth, this is what it's all about. Is that we have ambassadors, and you've been in an ambassador. You've had many different roles with us as we've been growing over the period of time. And I don't know that everybody even knows that, because now there's new ones that have taken roles, and they're not always aware of, how did this start? Who was in these roles before? And how did this all go about happening? And yes, thank you very much for sharing. So the thing is here, what we started to do, when you have time, when it takes a couple of hours to get to an event, you have time to talk. You have time to talk. You have time to work through things. And we use these moments in time for opportunities to drill down and to work on things. I'll never forget, we were going somewhere, and I'm like, okay, so what are you going to tell people? You remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember.
Like, okay, so what are you going to say? And she starts going, and I'm like, okay, how about let's try this again? And by the time we got there, you came up with, and you did it. You did the work, right? You did the work. I just asked the questions and just had you keep working through it. What ended up happening by the time you got to where we were going?
Well, you come from an HR background, and you were helping me with different things in the way I was communicating something that I wanted to say. And we kept going over and over it again. You said, well, what are you going to tell people? And they say, who are you? What do you do? And the book hadn't even come out yet. And it wasn't even there. And so I was really thinking, well, this is what I've been doing. This is what I do now. And this is what I want to do in the future. And we kept honing in and, like narrowing down and getting it to the point of this is what it is. And we kept, repeating it because, when you repeat it, it tends to stick. So, and then we were recording it on my phone because I'm like, this is perfect. This is great. Let's record it. And it was good. Yes, we really did get to talk. It wasn't just that. It was just our time together. Right. And it was more than the trip itself, but it was what took place on the trip. As you mentioned, it was the bond that we kept forming, a really close bond, and things that we were able to work through together. Some of them were very personal on both sides. But it was, and things that we never thought were going to come out. I always feel like what comes up comes out. And apparently we both needed that from each other. We knew it was a safe space. Heck, we weren't going to go anywhere. We were in the middle of a freeway. No,
far. In the middle of either Orange County or LA County freeways. Oh, that's fun.
But we knew it was a safe space. And that I forever will be grateful for that.
Me too. And so what happened then was as we were going here, there, and everywhere, meeting so many amazing people and everything. And I'm like, okay, it's time to put on this event. And your attitude was always, what can I do? What can I do? And there's so many that are like that. And I love it, love it, love it. And we need more and more people like you, like many of the people that are here right now that are just like, okay, I'm in. Where do you need me? Where do you need me? So we started to like what about this and what about that, and troubleshooting and looking at things and such. And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to Las Vegas and we're going to own that event. It is going to be the very, very, very first time that anybody has said that, okay, for Giving Tuesday, we are going to become the up-to-date version of what used to be the Jerry Lewis Telethon. Where did he do it? He did it Vegas. And so what did we decide to do? We decided to go to Vegas the very first year, even though you can't tell that we were in a hotel. We were at the Red Rock Hotel filming that whole 24 hours. Also, we filmed somewhere else, of which I'm still supposed to get that film that we did. So hopefully we'll still get it. I know.
Remember that? Yes. The interview.
Yeah. That's the way things happen. It shows up when it's meant to. And so let's see, think about the fabulous friends. Okay. This is going to cover us up. Okay. That's why I'm reading it. Think about when two fabulous friends talk words, tell us about the people in your lives. So you know that others and to be known. Knowing is at the heart of the deepest longing for intimacy and connection with others. Our relationships unfold with the most important people in our lives depend on courage and clarity in finding and using our voice. Absolutely.
Beautiful, Mikey. Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, he's very deep. He's very deep. He is.
So am I.
Oh, you are too. Okay. We're going to I promised a little bit of a trip down memory lane. We're going to start taking it. This is to show how far we've evolved. Okay. So this is the very first promo. I was so excited about this. This was a volunteer that put together this promo for the very first telethon, and it was the Service Heroes telethon because it was the bigger brand at the time, benefiting Chemo Buddies for Life. So let's enjoy this.
Nice.
Oh, very fun, right? And I'm going to do screen share now. I'm going to get it set up, and we're going to look at a little bit of that first year, and then we're going to go on. All right, let me just do this, get this going. I'm getting a little better with this technology, guys. You know, if there's always a will, if there's a way, if there's a will. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so let's do this. I thought I had it right. Okay, slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so let's do this. So this is our first year, 24 hours, 365 days of awesome. Recognize that from the beginning, guys. Okay.
Yes.
There's your hour 14. This is good. You guys are going to it's going to make sense. Hour 14. Okay. We've been on by now, we're 14 hours and going. So I had been live that full time, and we had the buddies that came.
Yes.
And you were one, and you traveled with one, Brett, and then we had one of my buddies, Lisa Brown. She flew in from Wichita, Kansas, to be with us because we wanted some of the buddies there. It's for their benefit. Your support buddy, Brett's a patient buddy, and so is Lisa. And then we have the fact that you are one of the ambassadors. The teamwork you were talking in regards to this. Okay, now blast from the past, guys. All right, yes. Okay, we're gonna fast forward to this because I was a little tired. Okay, now I'm going to fast forward a bit. Let me get the cursor here. Here we go. So you became the interviewer there, right?
Yes, I remember that. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So tell us about that experience.
You know, it was really interesting. It was enlightening, and I hope the audience then was as enlightened as I was because, you know, I know Lisa had glioblastoma. It's brain had cancer, and Brett had also had cancer and been through a lot of treatments. And to be the one interviewing these very, very strong and resilient individuals, two very different individuals, yet they shared the fight. You know, a fight that's in everybody's heart when you're diagnosed with that illness. It may be a different kind of cancer, but you share that same kind of pain.
Just a minute. No volume. Where was there no volume, Carol? Was there no volume now, or was there no volume in the video clip? And if so, this is really good for me to know. So thank you, Carol. Okay, go ahead.
So although people have different kinds of cancer that they fight in their life, as I was saying, the fight is that they are going through that fight in themselves and not to feel like they're alone. And when you share your voice with others, no matter how painful that pain is, you are still sharing it, and it's lightening that load. You know, my mom always says a shared joy is a double joy, and a shared sorrow or shared pain, it cuts it. You know, it makes it lessen in any kind of way, in some way, because you're sharing it with somebody else. You're not having to carry that burden by yourself. Right. And so when you're sharing that, it helps relieve some of the weight that you're carrying and you're bearing on your own shoulders when you're sharing your voice about your own feelings, your own journey of fighting cancer or whatever that fight is in your life.
Right. Right. And so you took them through it, and there's no sound. However, what I'm going to do, and I don't know how to get the sound, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. But what I want you guys to do is I'm going to take it a little further where maybe you can see on Lisa. I love this right here. Lisa is wearing the jeweled band. that was donated for the buddies, and we actually still have some of them that we can incorporate into this year. And they were donated by some of the people there in the beautiful city of Las Vegas. And she was so excited to be wearing that jeweled band, right?
I remember that. Yes, absolutely. It was such a pleasure to have her there, that she flew in and was able to be part of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was a really big deal. A really big deal.
It
was because anybody that doesn't know, she is in clinical trial still, diagnosed as a stage 4 brain cancer, and doing great. She's planning, I think, a beach trip this next week or something, you know. So I love her. She's just
good for her.
Yeah. So, and I want to recognize that Ariel is here, and she's saying that she's going to be okay. Just got some sad news. Okay, we are here with you. We will get through everything together, and that's what I really love about this community, and that's what this is all about, Renee, right? And it is about being there for each other, and being there for each other through all areas of it. And so I'm actually going to forward to the next one. Let's see, can I do that? Okay, now I'm going to bring it back up and add to stream. Okay, so then we had, okay, you guys don't need sound for this, but the next year, right? Okay, so
yes.
last year, oh, there we go. And once again, you are there to support. And this year was another really big year for you, in that you were there, you were supporting us, and you had a huge rollout that took place. And it's okay that we don't have
look at that picture. My goodness.
I know you know, some of these things you just don't have any control as to what they're going to say, but you actually right here got to let's see, you got to show us that your book had just arrived, right?
Yes, that was so exciting. We launched on February 3rd of 2020, and it was it was a surprise for my mom. I believe it or not, with this voice, I actually didn't say a peep to her for 2 years. Over 2 years about the book, she knew nothing. And the day I got it delivered was the weekend that we were going to be flying to Denver for Thanksgiving. And I was told it wasn't going to come till Wednesday, when I was going to be gone already, but it came on Monday. And there was a knock on my door. It was my book, my very first book. And I literally dropped everything. I drove down to visit my mom, and she had just walked in like 30 seconds before I walked in. I didn't even know she'd be home, but I walked in and just went down that freeway in faith. And she was there, and I walked in, and I then ran outside to get my book, and because I didn't know if she'd be home. And she had, as I said, just walked in. I brought my book to her, and she was very, very surprised. She had no idea. Thank you, Carol. And the book went to that day on February 3rd. It became an international and #1 bestseller for Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. And for that, I'm truly grateful and so proud of the strides it's made and the lives it's changed. And that's what it's about. It's not so much about me, but to be the vessel for others, that to help them in finding their voice in life. I had lost mine physically to an illness that literally pulled me out of society for almost 4 months. I was locked. I was like a prisoner. And it was in my own home, in my own body. But what I realized is, when you have time to step out of life, you can then step back into life in a stronger and more powerful way than you ever would have realized before. And it's not something I would have done for myself, but thankfully it really wasn't up to me. There was a greater power than us, that, things happen when we don't expect them to, and they don't necessarily happen to us. They happen for us. And at the time, we really don't know that. You're thinking, why is this happening? And what did I do? And, what do I do to get out of it? But there's time that heals. Doctors could not heal me because it was a virus. And there was no magic pill that they could give me, or no regimen they could tell me to do. it was literally the gift of time and to be quiet because I couldn't speak anyway. There was no voice.
Right.
My vocal cords were riddled with sores. There was no voice. Extreme pain.
Right.
Extreme, like I've never experienced in my entire life. So I really didn't know how I was going to come through it and if I would ever come through it. But I do know that when God takes you to something and through something, there's a reason. And in losing my voice, it was to find my voice and to help others find theirs.
Right, right. And so then as we started comparing notes and everything, it was amazing how many things we had somewhat of an understanding of each other, because here you came to talk to me about your father originally, then found out that your mother was a survivor, that you're a support person, that you lost your voice. And then one of my side effects was that I ended up with the chemo sores on my vocal cords. I lost my voice too during that period of time. And so then as you were finding your voice and we're talking it through in the car, you're like, okay, now what are you going to do with this? How are you going to do this? What are you going to do? And then you surprised me with what about that book?
Well, I had asked you if you would write a testimonial in it, and you, dear Tamara, wrote the forward in my book. So
the forward
by Tamara Hunter. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
That was an honor. I was so grateful you agreed, and proud to have you do the forward in my very first book. We go back from the beginning, and it's been a journey, and I have a pillow on my couch that says joy is in the journey. Well, it's not at the time. You don't always think it's joyful, but when you look back, it's 2020, with or without these glasses, it's at 2020. And it's something that you really learn to appreciate. Mm-hmm. As you go through it, you grow through it. Yes. In a great way.
Absolutely. So we've gotten through to a point where you were able to, on the 36 hour, the very first 36 hour. Now, guys, we're evolving now. The very first 24 hours, it was the Service Heroes Telethon, benefiting Chemo Buddies for Life. The second year, we went and upped it 12 hours, so 36 hours online. Yes, me. Up and yeah, I was not the only one. I had other team members and some from behind the scenes that were up the whole time too. And so 36 hours on air. And those that really track this stuff were saying that we were breaking records, that we were the first one to do all of these kind of things. And so the very first year we were on Facebook. We thought we were going to be able to stream onto a website. It didn't work. We thought maybe it could. During it, we realized it wasn't. It was okay. It was perfect the way it was. We did it. We got through it, and we made the stand. We put that flag in the sand saying, we're going to do it. And you had a big experience with that. It was their very first time to do what? Going to Vegas.
It was my very first time driving to Vegas. I had never driven. I'd been the co-pilot, but never the pilot. And I knew that there was a drive inside of me to be there for you. It wasn't about me getting on a long trip, on a road to a long trip. I really had the end in mind. People always say start with your end in mind. It was to support you. It really had nothing to do with me. I took myself out of the picture other than I need to get there and I need to support her. And I need to be there for her. I just literally took myself out of the equation other than getting myself there. Uh-huh. And then you would ask me to come by your way and pick up Brett.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who he was. It was a strange guy. I was driving his car, so it was a strange guy, a strange car. Didn't know him. Had never driven in Vegas before, and as a driver. And I just said yes. I said yes. And I knew that Brett had to be a good soul because I knew you. And there's no way you would, tell me to come down there and put me with. So I spoke to him on the phone. That was fine. He told me how to get to his house. I got in his car and I drove. It was like 4.5 hours to Vegas. And then we, just drove around at night. We drove to the hotel we needed. Then we drove different places that we needed to be. And my best friend, who's my angel in heaven with Dad, she's the one who always drove us to Vegas. And I was always her co-pilot. And this was the first time I was going to be driving. But when you put yourself aside and you look for the greater good, it really doesn't take much thought.
And so you did this. You then realized that, oh my goodness, Brett's probably one of the coolest, most loving, great people in the world, right? Thank you, Melissa. And read this for us to hear it. And go ahead.
Does she want me to read your foreword in the book? Is that what she wants me to read, the foreword that you wrote?
She may. Why don't you let us know what you want? In the meantime, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share. Let's see. Thank you, Renee, for doing so much for so many people, even for yourself. We appreciate you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helene.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share the newer spot that we've been sharing on this show that was produced by Skip Thomas, Emmy Award-winning director and videographer, producer, and a buddy, and kind of share the evolution of where we're going, and so that we will then step into where we're going. It's so exciting. Okay, this is taken from footage from last year's Give-A-Thon, the Chemo Buddies for Life 36-hour Give-A-Thon.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for Life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for Life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. I'm going to escape from this over here. Okay. Now, yes, Helene said yes. So I think she wants to hear the foreword.
Okay. All right. So it says, finding your voice. Forward by Tamara Hunter. Renee has found a beautiful way of crafting a message needed by many. This book will transform your life. Follow her lead. Do the work. And you will find the voice that has always been within you is now ready to be shared with your family, your community, your world. Tamara Hunter, Executive Director and co-founder of Chemo Buddies for Life, the Service Hero Show, creator and host, and the world's first Next Impactor.
Thank you. You know, I appreciate that opportunity to brag about you, because, you know, you are helping so many. You really are. And that's why when I thought, okay, we're going to be next, I know I'm doing a lot of video here, but video is very powerful, guys. And so I asked you to create something. So, because now, guys, let's get ready. ready for an event that this year we are taking it up one notch more. Can you believe from where we were the very first year, where we're doing the backdrops, we're working like we were, we were so proud of what we got done. We did it. And then last year we did it. We're so proud. And we did stream on a website. We streamed on Facebook and on YouTube. And, and so we were pushing it out that much more, which we were like, yes, we really wanted to get to, our goal was to get to like a Roku or somehow get onto web TV. We were almost there. It didn't happen. This year, we are already set. We are set. We have aligned ourselves with the E360 TV platform and family of shows. And we are going to be the live programming starting on Cyber Monday, which is November the 30th at noon Pacific time, our time, Pacific. And we're going to go for the 36 hours live, back to back to back through midnight of Giving Tuesday, which is December the 1st. And we are going to be streaming it out now, exactly what we had put out there last year. The intention was there. It happened. We are now set. We are set. How exciting is that?
That is incredible. I know it's been a dream of yours, Tamara, and I'm so proud to be on this part of your journey with you as you've been with me on mine. It's incredible. It's just an honor to be an ambassador for Chemo Buddies.
So let's share this. You did this clip, and then we're going to talk.
Hi, my name is Renee Reisch, and this is my third year supporting CB4L.org. I believe in healing through connections, and I'm so excited to be joining the Tour of Love.
Fun. Okay, so guys, if you guys want to do a clip for right now, we're going to be adding clips together also in something that would be longer. However, if you guys want to do something that's simple and send it over, I'll put what we put on there, save the date and the Tour of Love image on the back of your voice. And so you can be sharing it out everywhere too, because let's start sharing it out. It's all about the love. And right now we need love more than anything else out in our world. Wouldn't you say, Renee?
Oh, absolutely. It's really important. This is the time. And, especially the book that we were talking about and finding your voice, that it's like sharing your love within, sharing your voice. And like I said earlier, not everybody has to lose it physically. I believe that my physical loss of my voice was due to the metaphoric loss of my voice in my own life. And I just believe it manifested in my health in that way. And it was for not speaking up or sharing my voice as it was meant to be shared in the way it was meant to be shared. And now I'm just so grateful I have it back and I'm able to do that. So that's a big thing. So I'd like to say, I want to make sure I say this with cancer. You mentioned my mom earlier in this show. My mom had breast cancer when she was 44 years old. She's 83 years old. God bless her today. And I have a mother, and I'm going to tell you why I have. Well, it's not her birthday's not today, but she's 83 years old. She'll be 84 in October. Okay, she's 83. Yeah, I said today, yes. But she's 83. And what I want to point out is that the reason I have her is because she knew her body, and she knows her body. And when you know something is not right within your body, use your voice and speak up and go to the people who you feel can help you. Go to the right doctors, go to the right people that you need to research the people. She actually had gotten, and thank you, Tamara, she actually had gotten a report when she was 44 and she felt something was wrong. She got a report from the doctor saying she did not have breast cancer and that it was okay. She knew her body so well. Most women, when you get a great report saying you're okay, the test came back negative, most people say, oh, thank God. You know what? My mom, even this, 44, this is a long time ago, she said, thank you. I'm going to still go for another opinion. And she went to the best of the best in New York. We were living back east. And she got another opinion. And that second opinion was not so pretty. Mm-hmm. But that second opinion is the one that saved her life. Mm-hmm. So it is really a big thing to know your body, to know, to speak up when you feel that something is not right within. This is not right. That's not right. That doesn't feel right. Even, doctors, it's a practice. They practice medicine. We need to be the advocates for ourselves. Right. And if we don't, not trust, but if we don't feel that the information we've been given resonates or feels right within us, that something is still not right, then go for another opinion. Even if that first result was great, keep going. Because as I said, if my mom did not, she would not be here to speak with me and use her voice with me today.
Right.
I just want to make sure I put that out there because it's really important to be your own.
It is absolutely, and it's something that we need to constantly be reminding people of, constantly reminding, and to also, if you feel that there is an issue, get to the doctor, call the doctor. We may be in a pandemic, but call, contact, see, make sure that you are being an advocate, because the earlier something is found, many of us now are survivors where we at one point were not the ones that were. We were the ones that there are many movies from way back in the day, if you will, that kind of represent what was happening back in the day. No longer. Many of us stand up tall for yourself and know what is going on in you. Very well said, Aline. Very well said. I want to bring this back up because this is now your book is all over the place. Your goal is to have it where and you have people now doing workshops with it and all sorts of things. What is it that your goals are?
Oh, thank you, Tamara. I would love to see this book enter into schools and universities and bookstores throughout the globe, all over, because I strongly believe it's through the power of my words, through my voice that's how I'm using my voice, is through the words. And I want to get into the schools and universities and more, into libraries. Right now it's in Barnes & Noble in Aliso Viejo, California. I was going to do a book signing right at the heels of the pandemic, and I felt something big was going on. So I postponed it. And if it's meant to be, that book signing will still be whenever that time is. But I know, it's a very, very thin book. It's an easy read. It's a powerful read. After each chapter, I have takeaway sections. So I could see it, then even students doing on Zoom calls for their classes, breaking out into groups and to answer the questions. At the end of each chapter, I pose questions because I believe in the power of the pen, and what comes up will come out. And I leave room. I leave line pages to write your answer. Sometimes 3-4 pages to write your answers down on, because I know that it's going to really serve such a great purpose and to heal their hearts. Healing hearts is through the connection in your voice, through connections that we make, not only with each other, but the connection to our own self and our own heart and our own voice from within.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautifully said. And if anybody knows any of the people at any of our university systems, any of the libraries, library systems that have that ability to add curriculum or books or however that works, let's do this, because really all of us working together for the good. Service heroes. Remember, we all have a service hero inside. We all really do. And we can serve each other and making this world a better place. So the tour of love, you have put that on your calendar, I know, and there are many others that have too. We are going to this year, and I can't even say how excited I am about this. This year, we are going to actually be producing a real show. I mean, each hour is going to have uniqueness. It's going to have, some segments that are pre-recorded, some live things, breaking away different areas of the world as long as we can, one way or another, even if it is that things are shut down still, we can break away, even if we break away to a Zoom that then has a Zoom room of people that, whatever it may be, we will be creative. However, because we're a creative group, right, Renee?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so it is going to be important. Yes, it's going to be so much fun.
I can't wait. I'm really grateful to be part of this, Tamara. As I said, I've been with you since the beginning. This was meant to be. We didn't know where it was going to go. We each have our own separate things that we work on, but we always come back together to support one another and to share our voices with each other and do whatever we can, because I know it's through our voices that it goes out into the world, into the universe with a ripple effect. And we're here to do good and spread love and light and to lift each other up and to help others out. I always say I believe in giving a hand up rather than a hand out, because as you climb your own ladder, we put our hand out to help others rise along the way.
Yes. So there's two objects with the telethon and give-a-thons that we do. It's very, very simple. We enroll buddies, so we're increasing the community and letting people know we're here and that we're here and making a difference. We really, truly are. And then number two, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We do run by donations. However, there is some new stuff that we're going to be doing here soon. However, it is a fundraiser. And we're going to make it fun, and we're going to make it and so that there'll be prizes, and there'll be this, and there'll be that, and it will be really, really fun. CB4L.org. CB4L.org is where we do receive donations. And we're going to start even today. If someone feels it in their heart that they want to donate, there's a note in their area you can put that you want to donate towards the Giving Tuesday. And so that those numbers will be included, because we want to hit our numbers this year. We want to blow them through the water. We are making a difference. We are going global, and we really want to be able to take more out to our community and help them in many, many more ways. And yet we are going to need the funds to be able to do that. So we're going to make it fun and make it interesting. And then, it is a tax donation for those that are in the United States. It is the biggest philanthropic day of the year, so you can say that you were part of Giving Tuesday, even if you are a part of it today. It is a very exciting opportunity for anyone that has that kind of a heart to serve others. We also are looking for volunteers always. There's one way or another way for you to give. Also, sponsors. If you want to sponsor the event, hey, we're going to have a lot of viewership. So let's talk. Let's talk soon. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Tamara, thank you so much. I want to recognize you because you are the service hero of service heroes for everything you do and everything you are to each and every one of us. This has not been an easy journey of what you're doing for Chemo Buddies, but I do know that this is something that is needed, so needed in today's world. And we keep growing and banding together and coming together and using our voices together. And this is how we grow as a community. And I'm proud to be part of yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the words. And yes, time to move. Hashtag time to move. I want to say also thank you to all of you that are here as ambassadors. I want to recognize that yes, hashtag time to move is a big part of what we are doing too. Every morning we gather together to make sure we are unstuck. We are moving forward in our lives. We are doing it together. We have thank you for helping the Chemo Buddies for Life. Absolutely looking for volunteers and sponsors. We are. And hello, Dr. Mark. So glad you're here with us. All right. So as we close right now, I want to say thank you, Renee, for being there with us since the beginning. Nearly the beginning. It's amazing. And this year we are together collectively going to be joining the Tour of Love. And what fun. What fun. So save the dates, guys. In fact, we are going to go out with that video going on again. And then we will be done for the day. We will be back on Wednesday, the Service Hero Show at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, and then share it out in all social media. And make sure you have the E360 TV app so that you can watch it in all reruns at any time. Also, go to the YouTube channel. We have many shows from 3 years there too. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much. See you on Wednesday.
Hi, my name is Renee Reisch, and this is my 3rd year supporting CB4L.org. I believe in healing through connections, and I'm so excited to be joining the Tour of Love.